Good morning and welcome to BTV, where we cover news for the students, by the students. I'm Danny Torres.
And I'm Gali Cha, here with Becton's May News Report.
Finally, we made it to May. This May 5th, we celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Tacos, burritos, quesadillas, and maybe a festive drink were on the menu for most people celebrating this holiday. At Becton, Chef Perdomo got into the holiday spirit and inspired our students by helping them make their own empanadas.
Also, earlier this May, Ms. Ferris organized a senior day picnic on the side of the building with a delicious luncheon planned for those who have officially committed to a future decision.
Food, drinks, and desserts were served while students sat and conversed with their fellow peers. Students also took pictures with other students attending the same college while wearing their college apparel.
Congratulations to all seniors on their decisions. Becton can't wait to see you all succeed. Speaking of success, we also got to celebrate some of Becton's juniors and seniors that were inducted into the National Honor Society.
This month, we are honoring the students that were inducted into the National Honor Society. These students were invited into this organization based on their GPA, leadership, qualities, character, and community service. Although the ceremony usually takes place in the fall, this year, due to COVID, the ceremony was held in the Performing Arts Center on May 6, 2021.
I've been doing this for so many years, so I'm pretty used to the routine of the induction. Due to COVID, we had to social distance our members on stage. Typically, we have them on bleachers, but this year they were all spaced apart on stage, making it a little difficult to see all of our members at the same time, but safety comes first.
Typically, a reception is held in the Becton Media Center following the induction ceremony. But due to COVID, the National Honor Society students and family members were invited to celebrate and take a photo right outside here on the Becton patio, but that didn't affect the excitement level for our new members.
I was feeling excited, honored, and happy because I did have other academic achievements, but this meant more to me as a person. The ceremony was done beautifully, and special thanks to Mrs. Colangelo for organizing this event perfectly and for being the best advisor.
Regardless of the changes, this event still went off without a hitch. It was so nice to see our administration, board members, families, teachers, and staff come out to support the students receiving this honor. These students certainly deserve a big congratulations.
These students certainly deserve to be congratulated. We couldn't be happier about their achievements. There's no better time to break a leg. Well, if you're in the school musical performance, of course. Our Becton actors worked really hard to bring in a chorus line to the stage.
Becton Performing Arts presented the famous Broadway musical A Chorus Line on May 14th and 15th. Even with the restrictions and social distancing, they have worked extremely hard to perform this show for the Becton community.
I'm glad that we were able to have one this year. We were worried that because of the pandemic, we chose the chorus line because we felt it was a safe play because the kids are mostly standing in a line and there's not a whole lot of face-to-face interaction. So I think that we made a good choice for this year, and I'm glad that we were able to put one on for the kids.
This year, you purchased your ticket online and reserved a seat for yourself.
There was a lot more dancing in A Chorus Line than there are in any of the other shows that I've done, so that needed a lot more stamina.
Becoming your character is also a lot harder because you have the mask covering your facial expressions, and a lot of acting is your face, but we've all managed, and I'm happy to put on the show for you guys.
There are many great dance numbers in the play, such as I Hope I Get It and One Singular Sensation.
Singular Sensation! The chorus line is very dance heavy. So our choreographer, Ashley Tancredi, has really been working tirelessly with our cast to make sure that they are able to perform the dances. One thing that's different this year is that our director, Rebecca Cruz, and Ashley have been leading our cast in stretches and in a little, workout regime, and to make sure that everybody is able to do the moves.
The performance was held at Becton's Auditorium and received positive reviews. The students have gained valuable theatrical experience even though the pandemic presented extreme difficulties. This is Devin DeVoe from Becton TV.
Speaking of a great performance, our very own Izzy Frezzo was named Student of the Month. Isabella is a well-rounded student academically and athletically. Let's take a deeper look.
Satisfaction that you feel after you win a big tournament or a match even is really, really amazing, and it's a feeling that only wrestlers know or people in martial arts would know, because it shows that all your hard work paid off, and it's an individual sport. So when you work towards something by yourself and then you achieve your goal, it's something that there's almost no words to describe it. And all the people that are involved in wrestling have really shown me the way, and they've all been a positive influence on my life, and they've really impacted it in such an amazing way. Fiona has coached me for over 8 years in Jiu-Jitsu and recently stepped up as a coach in Becton Wrestling. Fiona is a big sister that I never had, and Fiona is my best friend. She has really influenced me a lot over the last 8.5 years. And she has shown me that hard work and dedication really work, and when you dedicate yourself to something, you will achieve big things. I've watched women's wrestling grow, and it's something so amazing that I never believed was possible.
Well deserved, Isabella. It seems as you brought a little fame to Becton. Well, you know what? Our teacher feature this month also had a big impact on Isabella Frezzo's success. Let's learn more about our new wrestling coach and history teacher, Mr. Dan Farina.
Mr. Dan Farina returns to his alma mater, Becton Regional High School, as the new history teacher for the 2020-2021 school year. Mr. Farina graduated in 2006, attending Rowan University and Montclair State University to fulfill his dream of teaching in a school that inspired him to educate the future of America.
Obviously, with 2020 being such a chaotic year, my first year at Becton has not been the typical introduction to a new school. Benefit of me starting here is the fact that I am an alum, so I've already known the lay of the land, and I know a lot of teachers that are here. Some of them were my own teachers, and I'm used to the community of East Rutherford and Carlstadt. So in terms of the pandemic, unlike Leonia, in terms of the familiarity, unlike Leonia, because I knew what I was coming back to. Civil War was one of my favorite subjects to study growing up. The whole idea of the fact that the country literally was involved in a war where two different sides of the same country were fighting with each other just always boggled my mind. And then when you learn the history of why it took place and how it has an impact even on today's day and age, it's one of the more fascinating subjects in history, not just the fighting standpoint, but just the whole cause and what it did for America itself. Growing up, played for the Junior Wildcats, started playing in 6th grade, fell in love with the sport within 2 years, and realized that this sport was going to take me places. And just growing up, I started to have a feeling that I wanted to be a coach at some point growing up. And when I found the interest in history to be what it was, I was just like, this is a no-brainer. I want to be a history teacher and I want to be a football coach. And you know, wrestling also kind of materialized out of that too. If you don't know, I'm the head wrestling coach as well. And you know, just the idea that I can do something that I love to do and earn a living doing it, being able to teach a subject that I love to teach, to me that's as good as it gets.
We are so glad to have someone on our staff that is so invested in our students. Green and purple balloons decorate the halls this month to raise mental health awareness. Becton invites a keynote speaker to highlight the importance of building healthy relationships.
Ashley Bendixson came to Becton this May for Mental Health Awareness Month to enlighten all on the importance of this month and share her own experience on what life is like without a strong mentality. In addition to the keynote speaker, Becton's child study team and faculty worked to really show us the importance of this month and to stop the stigma.
Mental Health Month means to me is reducing stigma. So, we at Becton do all this great counseling, but we can't possibly do it all. You guys need to look out for each other. So by reducing stigma, making people not ashamed to talk about things, we hope the students will lean on each other and on staff for support instead of keeping things in.
Mental health awareness is about openness. It's about having conversations and allowing people to learn from those conversations.
Being a teenager is so hard in general, but being a teenager during the pandemic has made things infinitely harder, and I hope everyone knows that we're here to offer love and support to everyone.
Finally, some weather we've been waiting for. Let's head over to Italo Or for this month's weather report.
That's right, take out your shorts and t-shirts. We're finally getting the opportunity to enjoy some beautiful weather this month. A warm front is sweeping in this month, bringing not only that warm sunshine, but also pulling in some pollen with it. We've got a few clouds in the upcoming weeks, but temperatures should remain in the 70s. That should help with those outdoor barbecues. Don't forget to get your shades out and start wearing that sunscreen. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for the weather update. May's beautiful weather is finally coming through and everyone is getting ready for the holiday weekend. But it's not just all about hot dogs and barbecues. Every year on the last Monday of May, we honor our veterans with Memorial Day.
Our veterans will always be in our hearts and minds with our full support. Here at Becton Regional, one of our students has officially enlisted into the Coast Guard. Mateo Winen, class of 2021, is part of the new generation that will also be remembered and honored with all the veterans that fought for our country.
It's exciting and scary at the same time, I'm going to be going to basic alone, I'm going to be getting deployed alone, so it's I'm going to be living by myself and it's going to be weird, I'm trying to do at least 1 or 2 years or however much it takes me to be able to pay for my college, because I want to be able to study and have my college paid for.
Good luck, Mateo. His commitment to the armed forces is a huge honor. Another key part of Memorial Day celebration are the ceremonies we hold to celebrate their valor. Here we are at one of the most important memorials for our veterans, the Arlington National Cemetery. This 150-year-old cemetery has more than 400,000 servicemen and women. People from all over our country come to honor their loved ones. During the day, to remember our veterans who served our country, we use poppies as a symbol to represent their sacrifice. You can wear a poppy to school in support of the fallen and living who have fought for our country. Back to you in the studio.
I'm looking forward to wearing my poppy.
Or your corsage.
That's right, Becton's juniors and seniors will be celebrating the prom this year at the Legacy Castle on June 2nd. We now join our field reporter, Kiara Blanco, for more insight into the prom.
It's prom season here at Becton as they celebrate at the Legacy Castle on June 2nd. I'm Kiara from BTV News on a Zoom call with Becton's prom advisor, Jessica O'Driscoll.
Hi, I'm Jessica O'Driscoll, and I am physical education teacher at Becton Regional High School as the junior-senior prom advisor. I'm very excited for the prom this year. It's going to be at the Legacy Castle at Pompton Plains, New Jersey, which is about 25-30 minutes from Becton Regional High School. This year's prom will be on Wednesday, June 2nd from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. The prom is $131 per person, 22 hours prior to the event if it's a PCR test, and 24 hours prior if it's a rapid test, unless they are vaccinated. Hour and a half will be cocktail hour, followed by the main ballroom, where there'll be lots of dancing, and we have a photo booth, so it'll be a lot of fun for our students. I'm looking forward to it.
We now have senior DJ Zelisa, who is attending the prom.
It's a little much, I mean, it depends on how the food tastes and how the pictures come out. Buying the tickets were pretty easy. All I had to do was just fill out the permission slip and bring the money and the permission slip to the school and fill out the seating chart. Yes, I do feel like they're pretty good with the COVID protocols, and I think it'll do help wearing a mask the whole time, even though it might be a little difficult.
This event seems too much fun to pass up. With a beautiful venue and safety measures to avoid COVID outbreak, kids will be able to enjoy their night. Again, I'm your reporter, Kiara Blanco. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that's going to do it for this month's news report. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and check out our BTV YouTube videos. I'm Danny Torres.
And I'm Gali Cha.
Don't forget to tune in next time, and thanks for watching.